Pains me to say this, but after starting in 1899 and peaking with 2,500 store locations in the year 1994, unfortunately, K-Mart is not back.
Damn.
Just 3 stores left.
No way.
Yes. Came out this week. I think they closed a location in fucking New Jersey or something. There's just 3 store locations left on K-Mart. According to my, muckraking journalism here, but that's why we've got fact-checking Alex there to make sure we're good. Yeah, Kmart.
I got fired from there in high school.
Get the fuck out. Wow, bittersweet day. So you ended up winning. How about that? You outlasted your high school job.
Yeah, you're right. I knew that too.
Everyone needs a good firing every once in a while.
Yeah,
but
it was an alleged offense.
Of course.
Never proven.
What was the alleged offense?
Me, Katie Graves, Jordan McDonald, and someone else allegedly.
What a squad. First,
I remember this.
Allegedly, we're making fake rewards accounts and typing our own phone number when people would check out. Allegedly, we got caught doing that. And funny enough, the dude who fired us, who said he was going to call the cops on us, got taken out in handcuffs 4 months later for real embezzlement from the cash.
Classic. Good old embezzlement.
So he was just mad that you guys were doing a better job than him?
Yeah, and he smelled like booze all the time. I was like, dude, this is like
Wait, so that's a heady play. What, you got like bonuses if the more people that signed up for the rewards upon checkout?
It's like how at a store, like if you type in your phone number, like at like 7-Eleven or something, you get points and you can buy stuff with it. Yeah, we allegedly just typed in. We just made this like one fake account, just typed in the same number instead of asking people for theirs, and would buy like food and shit. Yeah.
Hey, allegedly, that's a heady play.
Yeah.
Happy 420 to all those who partake, of course. Coachella, is that on your guys' bucket list? That's what I've grown in old age. I fear is that I'm not the concert guy anymore, not like I used to be.
I really enjoyed ACL, but I was talking to people about Coachella, and apparently it's just like, it's more to like see famous people, and like it's all about the outfits and not so much about the music.
Right.
So I don't think I'd be a big fan.
Yeah, it's a clout fest there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, I'll do you one better. How about Revolve Festival? We almost had a fire fest on our hands. Apparently, they just totally unprepared for the busing all these influencers to the separate concert. It was basically an even bigger clout fest than fucking Coachella. What I found funny was all the TikTokers like screaming their heads off, saying, "I'm too famous to deal with this shit." And the bus drivers were probably in their 50s trying to figure out who is more famous than who out of this group of like 18-year-olds. Hey, is that Two-Turn Tony?
Wait, this is the first time hearing about Revolve. What is it?
Yeah, dude, it was like this exclusive kind of invite-only influencer concert that Jack Harlow performed at. I think someone else performed
Post.
at it too.
Post was there.
Post was there. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I don't know. It was like, I feel like there were some TikTokers that were just sent there by brand or by Coachella to kind of just stream their time at Coachella for brand exposure for the concert overall.
Yeah.
Because it had been 2 years.
I kind of, so Darian's we were watching it on, what was it, maybe Easter Sunday, like all the TikToks and videos and stuff. And it was some sort of like, it's a brand, and they purposefully tried to set up their own festival on the way to Coachella. So it's kind of like, hey, yeah, if you get invited, you get to come to this specialized event. There's going to be extra influencers there. Basically just build hype around, like a Fire Fest situation, like build hype around a brand and all this stuff. And back to like Dylan's point, basically I'm just imagining myself as like these bus drivers and stuff, like your career is bussing people, and all of a sudden you get the worst of them all, and you're like screw these guys. Like I don't know, it's not worth.
Yeah, like
this.
Gen Z complaining, and then Gen Z like influencers. But it was like everyone standing around for like hours. Like, so they were rightfully pissed off. You know, it was kind of like, hey, I'm missing Coachella for the super exclusive thing. It was just there's no water. People are left in the sun. Like the bus was like, we can't. People are trying to rush the bus to get on.
Jeez, so it really was like a fire fest. Almost.
Right, exactly.
There was like videos of guys at the like entrance of the bus being like, "Let me see your influencer bands and stuff." And it's just like,
just so
it's just like, they're just, it's probably, I don't know what it is though. Like speaking to the whole concert thing, like are concerts like too hard to manage now, or what's up?
I maybe it's a combination of kind of now that they're back, everyone wants to go out, and everyone has to remember how to do it again. You know, yeah. I've got all right. Your name, Chase and Loot, your famous level. Well, I had that one song that I did a dance to.
They're about to put levels or like stars on how influenceable you are. You know?
Well, exclusivity was not an issue at the Smokepurpp concert, which had 10 people. Did you guys see the videos of this?
I saw the video of that. It looked like he was performing at a Dave and Buster's.
What was it, Smokepurpp?
It's it's him and Lil Pump were like SoundCloud rappers who made it big. And, Lil Pump's arguably made it big. I'm actually a fan of Smokepurpp, but yeah, it looked like the concert that he was performing at the concert we went to was Mike Stud when we were 15 years old.
Even worse.
Yeah.
It looked like a 6th grade mixer when like you and your friends were the first 10 people to get there.
And he was right in their face. He was rapping his ass off. He was going hard.
Damn. Yeah, fuck, that'd be embarrassing, dude.
Oh yeah, I felt bad, but yeah.
It literally looked like a Dave and Buster's or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Trying to find a good like photo to show.
Right. If there's a video, feel free to pull it up whenever. Brennan's favorite artist, Lizzo, bears all in a new magazine cover. Did you guys grace over this photo?
No.
I mean, again, to each his own. She's putting herself out there. I'll say it was crazy. It was basically just her bare ass, like boarding a plane. It was something, but on the cover of a magazine.
Okay, I did see that, and people were actually mad, and they were like, "Why the fuck is she allowed to do this?" And then they compared it to this model who was flying like commercial, but was like told she had to put on something over her sports bra.
Wow. Okay.
But
yeah, it was just like, what
Lizzo was flying private, at least. Like she can wear whatever the fuck you want if you're flying private.
Yeah, good point. All right, here. Yeah, this is literally the photos of. It looked like, my God, it looked like Cam's barbecue. Yeah, nobody there. I wonder what that bar was. That's fuck.
I can't find a good video. It's just trying to. Oh wait, here we go. I'm going back. Hopefully this is some good content, because I haven't pre-watched it.
Yeah, here we go. So this is Smokepurpp literally on stage.
Oh.
Everyone's literally, as Brendan put it up there, or laid it out, everyone's just fucking rushing up the stage. They got to show their lives, that's for sure.
Have you guys ever been to, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but like, have you ever been to like a bad turnout concert and it feels like it's just for you guys?
I have been. I mean, like other than like what Dylan was saying, like in high school when we'd go to like Hoodie Allen and Mike Stud.
But that was still popping in our.
But that's like, it's kind of like what you expected. Like they were just small arenas.
They just filled out a bar, like a bar room almost. I don't know, like we went to some concerts in high school, just because to do whatever. We went to a Goo Goo Dolls concert. That might have been the most dead one I've been to. It was just kind of a parsed crowd.
Whose concert? You cut out there. Whose concert?
The Goo Goo Dolls. Which I enjoyed thoroughly. But
we went to Gaines concert in high school. Grant.
Was the turnout wrong?
That was at I forgot what it's called.
Like Blue Bar or something below
Sky Bar.
Yeah, it's next to that House of Pain gym.
It was in
that
your
was in my
diss track. Yes.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back.
I just Googled Sky Bar, and it's what comes up is the most magnificent like Chinese Sky Bar venue. And I was like,
This does not require a comment whatsoever, but I just want everyone to know the Island Boys have added a fifth Island Boy, and then they shaved their heads. Then they shaved their heads.
Yes. All of them shave their heads.
They all shave their. They look ridiculous now, like even more ridiculous. They are suckering me in. I am literally the TMZ guy for the Island Boys. I will keep everyone up to date.
Oh my god! I wonder how many more they're gonna add. They're gonna be like.
It's so cringy now, but they're like, I don't know if they're in on it because they are getting comments and they're just like responding to the comments, whatever they're doing, so they're still doing their thing. Britney Spears is pregnant. How about that? I didn't know it's with her boyfriend or whatever, and she's had kids before. I don't really know her whole family situation, but obviously she's now free, so good for her.
Yeah, she's got two boys that are like in high school, and then her boyfriend's quite a bit younger than her, so they're having another baby.
Whenever they make or have they made a Britney? I think they made a Britney documentary. No,
she wasn't like a part of it. The movement who was like,
wasn't it on Hulu? It was by the New York Times. It was excellent.
Yeah. But it was like all the people trying to free her. It wasn't like her.
Right.
I'd love to hear more about like from her son's perspectives and high school then
I was just gonna say high school. That's interesting. Like I wonder what they have to go through on a day-to-day basis. That was one of the selections by Jack D. More coming up, of course, here on Wingin It. We've also got an interview with our guy Andrew McBride and his stand-up comedian work down in Florida. So excited to talk to him at the end of the tea. All right, I literally saw a video I don't know if we could pull this up perhaps, but maybe not. No worries if not. Of a guy who lives in the metaverse full time.
I saw that.
Bro, how depressing was that?
That was fucking weird.
Is it his job to do it or
they're basically, I think they're already like everyone's talking about how the metaverse is just going to be more jobs, and I think they're already starting to have jobs available or people are doing it. Mark Zuckerberg saying that he takes all his meetings in the metaverse. Picture a guy in like just a closet with a bed and, he's just wearing these goggles.
He like gets up from bed. And,
here we go. Bro. And then it says, and here he is taking a shower. Bro, he's in a kiddie pool. He's in a kiddie pool bathing himself.
He's laying in the crib.
Is this fucking real?
Yes, this guy just lives full time in the metaverse.
Why does he have to shower like that? Why can't he just take his glasses off and go fucking shower for real?
Because he literally does not want to. He thinks it's least like it was so depressing. It's literally like fucking Ready Player One. He was like, it's less productive for me to leave the metaverse than it is to sit in my own fucking filth and bathe myself in a kiddie pool.
That's disgusting.
Do you know, is this guy making money? Like, are they trying to pay him to like study if it's a thing,
I don't know. And like, I wonder if it's just like, that look what his living situation is. He literally might just think that life in the metaverse is better than what he's currently got going on, which is so sad.
I'm pretty sure he did say that he thinks life is just like better in there because you can like control it more, some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, like you could just do whatever. You could just escape reality. And that creeps me the fuck out. But we're going to see more and more people like this. Speaking of TikTok, I got roasted on TikTok for my Batman take. People love that movie. What the fuck? I mean, now that it's on HBO, I guess I got to give it the good old, at-home viewing too. But I didn't realize how many people were like going to bat like they were a Swiftie or something.
Well, remind me your take because I just started it and
I basically just said it was good, not great, and then everyone's like L, and I was like, all right, I'll take that.
L opinion.
Well, yeah, TikTok comments are a fucking whole different world. Like once one starts, they all just like they're ruthless.
It's funny because you post that same thing on Instagram and you don't get anything like that. TikTok's a whole new world, and it's so funny. Yeah, so that was, I guess I'll have to revise my take. I was just shocked how many people are obsessed with that movie. Like, what, do you guys have a movie like that? Like maybe Inception for me, where it's like, if you say Inception's a bad movie, like I think you're stupid. Not really, you know.
I'm sure we could go down that and like name movies that we all love versus.
But like that have like a cult following almost. Like, good God, I didn't understand it. But hey,
I wonder if the girls, due to what Robert Patterson, I wonder if like they're behind that too now. Because like I got Dee's attention when I started it, and I was like, oh, that's Robert Patterson. She's like, what? He's Batman, and she's freaking out.
Yeah, no, his career arc's crazy from Twilight to, you know, he's like the toast of Hollywood now. He's getting mad
jewel in his utility belt while he was filming, and it said this really is our generation's Batman.
It reminded me a lot of the Game of Thrones last season too. Like when you saw behind the scenes, and a lot of the younger actors are like Starbucks and jewels in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Starbucks cup that was left out on one scene fucking, on like a tapestry. Black Sails was lit. I finished it. Haven't seen any like pirate shows, and that, you know, this gets the job done. It gets a little long in the 4th season, but like seasons 2 and 3 are epic. I binged The Dropout. I think it's a much fucking watch. It was excellent, dude. Amanda Seyfried killed it. She was like method acting. Like I literally thought it was like she was even jowly. She was like, like her chin was sticking out.
Oh. Yeah.
Wait, what's The Dropout about?
It's about Elizabeth Holmes and how she basically defrauded. Like, it's insane. How did she get away with it?
She was like a genius, and she was at Stanford, and she created this. She was trying to create this thing that could do at-home blood tests and test for like hundreds of different diseases at once in like the prick of a finger.
Right. It was for basically people that were afraid of blood, who hate giving blood. So it was much easier for a lot of people to get tested for various different diseases with just a drop.
That's a thing, right?
But they lied about it. They basically could not create an invention that they were basically lying about being able to create for like 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, she couldn't get it to work, so she kept like faking the numbers and that it was working to keep getting investments. And
then she stole the other machine and like just put her logo on it and was just using the tests on the competitor's machine.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. They show them like meet with like CVS and Walgreens and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the actors they found for like just different roles there are great.
Yeah, they got Amanda I'm gonna pronounce it.
Yeah, Seyfried.
Yeah. Naveen Andrews, Kate McKinnon, William H. Macy. So
William H. Macy would too.
Yeah, that's Frank from Shameless. And the Walgreens dude is the best friend in Ferris Bueller, Cameron.
Okay. And the guy who was supposed to test the technology was the dude from Mad Men.
Yeah.
What else? I forgot my point there. Oh, Saeed from Lost.
Yes.
He was like one of the main characters. I
love Saeed.
He was great. I'm binging Better Call Saul. Anyone on that life?
I've seen the first season.
I've only seen the first season as well. I need to get back into it.
Yeah, because their final season just came out. I think I saw Austin was watching it. So that's my new binge of the week. We'll get to Jack's here in just a moment. But Stranger Things 4 coming this summer. I'm hyped. That looked awesome. The soundtrack, go look up the trailer when you get a chance, audience too. The soundtrack is epic. It looks, I was like, how could they keep doing this? There's a new demon every season, but it's still captivating.
That's what I'm like. I don't know. I'm interested to see this one play out because I thought Stranger Things season 1 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
season 2, I was glued. I think I watched it all in one sitting, and then that 8th or 9th episode, I was like, holy shit. All right, and last thing from me, just something I find cool because I'm an oddball. Paleontologists apparently have found traces of the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. That's pretty damn cool. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm fascinated by dinosaur life, but it was.
Do you know where they did that? Found that?
I do not. I imagine it was. I think I might have glanced over it, but just whose job is it to? I think that's what my brother wanted to grow up being, was a paleontologist. Just going to discover fossils and shit.
Dude, little story there. There was like in my previous life at construction, a ton of dinosaurs are found in Colorado, like right in the foothills, and basically one of our job sites like ran into a bone, and they like had to shut the entire thing down, and a bunch of these like what I guess paleontologists come in, and like these guys are used to working with huge earth moving machines, and all of a sudden these guys are out there with brushes like
they're dusting away. I feel like I went on a school field trip like that where you got to do shit like that. Yeah, like construction people hate that shit because if you like stumble upon that or like an Indian burial ground, it's just like no go. Like you can't fucking do shit.
I got a couple stories about the Indian burial ground stuff from construction as well, and that is I believe it very much now because of those stories.
Okay, remind me to get to that next episode for sure. I'm writing that down. All right, let's get to the tea with Jack D. Some selections for you to binge, and then we'll hear from stand-up comedian Andrew McBride here on Wingin It.
ASAP Rocky was arrested today at LAX in connection to a November 2021 shooting, and his bail has been set at $550,000.
So any word on what the shooting was? I mean, it was kind of out of nowhere. They basically just had a warrant for him as soon as he landed. That's crazy. I also saw they raided his house and apparently came out with like evidence.
Yeah, I have not looked into it too much, but be more to come there. And Riri's pregnant, so that's kind of bad timing.
Tough.
All right. Let's see what's next. This is interesting. 100 people with the same rare cancer who all attended the same New Jersey high school have all banded together demanding answers because they're wondering why only them have it.
Damn, what type of cancer is it? Does it say?
It doesn't. I screenshotted the wrong part, but
I'm gonna look it up.
It screams like asbestos to me or something.
Yeah. Oh wait, I did screenshot it. Extremely rare malignant brain tumors.
That's crazy, dude.
Well, it's wild. Yeah. Did you hear about the similar thing happening near us growing up?
And that Turnberry subdivision versus?
I think so. And basically there's this huge dumping ground where back in the day, like around our good old stomping ground, there was like a lot of gravel roads, and supposedly he sprayed this like chemical that would keep the dust down. But long story short, stored it in this backyard, and the neighborhood developments that came later on, like there was a huge same thing, like pocket of I forget, but
it's almost like Chernobyl. It's like you just can't be there. That's and you have no way of there was a neighborhood in Rapid City right as I was leaving that just had like it was sinking. Like they had just built a subdivision over a sinkhole, and like people were like having to evacuate their homes. It's like, how do you sell that? How do you like, good God, like, could you even, is that even insured? Like, I don't even.
Your house just falls into the earth one day.
Right. No kidding.
That's literally what happened at Top of the Rock. If you guys ever saw that.
No.
Oh, dude, same difference. Top of the Rock in Missouri with all the golf courses, like beautiful golf courses. I ended up going there after the sinkholes happened, but there was like, I want to say 7 sinkholes that all like at the same time gave on their property, and it just destroyed their like phenomenal courses.
Yeah, like their value and shit. You lose so much money off that shit. Yeah, like my old house, we were able to sell it and get out and made a profit, but we were like, God, we were dealing with flooding issues because they literally just, the crooks built us on top of like a moving river. Like there was so much moisture underneath their house. It was like, Jesus, all right, next person's problem. All right, so these New Jersey classmates, that's some shitty luck there.
Yeah. Will Smith is being flooded with movie offers after his Oscars appearance.
Really? I didn't know how things were going because, like, you know, the Oscars banned him or whatever, but it seems things are looking up.
Yeah.
He also still won Best Actor, so
yeah.
The quote was that Hollywood loves a redemption story. So,
yes, they do. Correct.
But do you all want to see more Will Smith? Because I kind of do.
I do too. I love the King Richard movie. It was great.
It was awesome. Yeah. Joe Biden told Barack Obama he plans to run again in 2024.
Stop it, please. I would like to see him physically run. I would still like to see him actually do that in 4 years.
I would like to see him like pass a driver's license test.
Dude, they can't drive.
Take the
even after
ACT.
testing.
Take the ACT. I want to see what he's scoring on the ACT right now and in 4 years. Did you see? I think this just came out today, or he was trending. Piers Morgan apparently sat down with Trump, and he just posted a snippet of it. And Trump's like gets up and leaves the interview. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
There was a video. The video was doctored, I found out, but there was such a funny video of Biden when he stopped speaking and he like turned around and there was like no one there.
Yeah, to shake nobody's hand.
But apparently that was like someone fucked with the video and made it fake, but it looks so funny because he's just on stage like trying to shake someone's hand.
Yeah, he tries to play it off and people are just like, is he okay? My favorite is that one where he's walking and like the Secret Service agent tells him to go one way and Biden just keeps walking and someone remade it and it was like, it was to never let him know your move. And it's just Biden keeps walking. All right. Well, more President Biden.
I hope I'm Trump's level one day whenever I'm rich and famous and I can walk out of an interview. That's a power move.
Yeah, he's like you're down. He's like you're a clown.
So
you're untrue.
Johnny Depp's domestic abuse trial has started, and it's nuts because everyone for so long was like Johnny Depp's a bad guy. Johnny Depp's a bad guy, but like all this recordings are like coming out of like her like hitting him and doing all crazy shit, and like there's videos of her in court like smiling, and then she puts on like this serious like acting face when she starts like talking, and like it's just crazy shit. And like apparently like her and her friend like shit on his bed. That came out in are you guys frozen? You guys here?
Sorry, no, we've got it all. My internet's just a little unstable, but I think I've got you.
Oh, yeah, but it's just like nuts, and so it's interesting to see how it's going to play out if like they actually like she gets charged for it instead of him, or I guess not charged. They're like she's trying to take half his money or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny that he brought it up. Like, what? So the shitting on the bed, that was something. Yeah, like she was just apparently super toxic. Like, obviously you don't want to say, you don't want to say someone's crying wolf or something, but because most of the cases they're not. But this appears to be one of the cases where it was like, wow, she was just lying to our face, apparently, as it's coming out in court.
Yeah,
he's even using like the kids now. I heard in court, and he was like, I try to avoid this, but now that it's so public, like I'm just gonna spill the beans, kind of deal.
And people were like shitting on how she's still starring in like Aquaman and shit. Like she's still getting roles where Johnny Depp isn't necessarily getting as many roles.
Imagine trying to judge and like people listen to this. And I don't know how the court case is really set up. Like, I don't know if they're in front of a jury or not. But when you're dealing with actors that can change everything about their persona so quickly and so well, I wonder if that is much more difficult in court.
That's a great point.
The city of Detroit allegedly overtaxed homeowners by $600 million between 2010 and 2016.
So I mean,
how does that? Yeah, how does that happen for so long?
I don't know.
See, that's something I wouldn't notice either because I don't look into shit like that. I'm just like, whatever, pay it. I'm like, you tell me a number, I'm paying it.
Right. Yeah. And you're not your own accountant. Like you don't know all the, I guess, legal taxing of your area and all. Like, I don't know. No one's doing that. So it must have been some accountant that was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was live in the airport when TSA got the call. There's no more masks.
Dude, how epic was that? I read a great fucking point where like airline workers were just relieved because they were turned into cops. They had to be fucking cops.
I was literally like putting my shoes back on in TSA, and this dude runs up and he's like, "They blocked it!" Like to the other worker, he's like, And the lady's like, wait, I think we still have to wear it in the airport. She's like, nope, no, we don't. Nope, they blocked it. Like, he was pumped. And
What was crazy how it's like, what, some judge was just like, all right, I'm striking this down. It's like, where the fuck was, why weren't we doing this? And now it's apparently appealed, but like Biden's just like, do what you want. I mean, no one knows or cares anymore at this point.
well, they totally appealed it because it was a Trump appointed judge
Right.
when he was, but it's like,
which was
dude,
like, well, shit, at least she's fucking helping everyone out.
like, dude, everyone the airline CEOs wrote a letter to Biden trying to get it. He wouldn't do it. So now it's like, come on.
And they were extending it. It's like, why are we doing,
Yeah.
Made no sense.
Netflix shares have plunged more than 30% after the streaming platform lost 200,000 subscribers in the previous quarter.
This was insane. So first time they had lost subscribers since 2011. They tanked like 40%. I saw Bill Ackman was trending because I think he bought like so many shares back in January, and now it's got to be a rough day for him today.
And
while it's on sale.
Yeah.
And they said they're now looking into having ads on there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's what's smart about it is they would just make a ad tier. So it's like, hey, if you really are stingy enough to where you don't want to pay, what is it now, $15 a month? Hey, you could pay $7 a month, but we'll flood you with ads. And it's like,
Dude, just like Hulu now.
right. Yeah, exactly. And that's why Netflix it kind of got shat on, because it was like, all right, they never do ads. Like, are they missing out on money? Oh shit. Now they're losing subscribers. That was nuts.
Dude, I just did a quick math. Like in 1 month, that could be $3.5 to $4 million.
Yeah, they are they're like down to fucking 110 or maybe like they're down to what they were a couple of years ago in stock price, which is just insane.
Alex Jones's InfoWars has filed for bankruptcy, and he is facing lawsuits for past comments claiming that the Sandy Hook shooting was staged.
I don't know what he's doing there, but that is my favorite soundbite ever. Goddamn fucker. Listen, fuckhead. You fuck. Yeah, it was kind of a seedy move too, because like he's like him filing for bankruptcy was like a ploy to just try and avoid paying these people even more, like to tie it up in courts.
How did he even rise to fame? Was it through InfoWars?
Yeah, I
Dude,
think
no.
it's just like being, super just disparaging comments, and like I love a conspiracy theory, but yeah, he takes it to the max.
He went viral when of this like ceremony of the richest people from Hollywood. Basically.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where he that the whole conspiracy about the
Bohemian Grove.
The world's elite meet once a month in like Bohemian Grove, and they sacrifice humans and shit.
Yeah.
He
took it too far. Like, no doubt that rich people meet and like work together and whatnot. Would you not if you were extremely rich? But yeah, he got a video of it and then blew it up because exactly that. He tied it to a lot of things that probably aren't true, or at least I like to believe they aren't true.
Yeah, he's super conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Sandy Hook thing is that it's like, dude, chill.
No. I just died.
You're what did
all
your
right,
phone?
I can remember a couple of the last things off my head. We were at the end. The world's oldest gorilla turned 65. The White House press secretary said that student loan cancellation is not off the table yet.
That would be epic. Legalize pot next. I couldn't believe it had been 10 years since Colorado.
Yeah. Then to like movies and stuff, Johnny Depp said that he's never watched one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and Disney couldn't pay him all the money in the world to make another one.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell has been cast with Ryan Gosling in the new live action Barbie movie.
Really?
Ryan Gosling plays Ken and Margot Robbie plays Barbie.
I was gonna say, like, it sounds like a great cast. I hope the story's good. It sounds like they got a good lineup.
Like a more like adult type story.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. And then I had one more movie that was coming out. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are gonna play Phil Knight and whoever the other person was, and it's gonna be the story of how they signed Michael Jordan to the shoe. Yeah,
Nice.
Because he was in a battle with a couple other, whoever he went to would make the shoe company, and he chose Nike. What'd you think of Jerry West suing our boy Adam McKay?
Yeah.
Did you see that? That's nuts.
Yeah, he like called for like an apology, a public apology on it, and someone quoted the tweet and said, "That's exactly what the show's Jerry West would do if he got sued." And then for suggestions, there's a new show on Paramount Plus, Miles Teller, about getting The Godfather created. He plays Francis Ford Coppola. It looks pretty cool.
I've heard it's good, yeah.
And then I didn't finish Severance, but Brendan did, and he said it was awesome. So that's
really,
yeah.
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's kind of got like a Black Mirror sort of vibe, though.
Okay.
It's just it's an interesting plot line. I would check it out if you kind of like darker things.
I'm into it. Is that on Apple or Paramount?
Apple.
Apple.
And then it snuck up on us, but next Friday is the final part 2 of Ozark.
Yep. I'm excited. I was disappointed, but I'm excited for the last couple batch. I got to binge Better Call Saul first.
And then not a new show, but I restarted Friday Night Lights, and I'm absolutely hooked again. So.
I saw your tweet. Such a great series.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Your eyes.
Yeah,
full heart. Coach Eric Taylor. That's the tea with Jack D. Selections as well. Appreciate the fellas. Let's talk to Andrew McBride on Wingin It. All right, I've been talking about wanting to get this guy on for quite a bit. He's been doing some awesome things on social media. This is Andrew McBride, A McBride 16 on TikTok and Instagram. And let's start there, Andrew. Thanks for joining us, of course, at first.
Thanks for having me.
You've been doing kind of some stand-up and then also going viral, having the ability to go viral on TikTok with some creative skits. You know, how awesome has that been? And what have you been kind of doing with that lately?
That was awesome. You know, it's always cool to like have something in your head and bring it to life and get the feedback that you're looking for. But I mean, honestly, that stuff just kind of stemmed from the whole comedy thing. You know, the hardest thing about comedy down here is finding stage time. And when you have all these creative ideas, dude, you got to put them somewhere. And you know, that's the beautiful thing about technology nowadays is there's so many outlets to get such different things out there. So, you know, just kind of ran with it. But, you know, I've definitely kind of slowed down a little more on the TikToks the last few weeks just because I've been focused on the comedy. But, dude, I love getting out there, especially making people laugh in any way I can, dude. I love it.
That's what's so funny about hanging out with you is every left and right, it's a joke off your mouth. So when you told us, or like me and Idella, you're getting into it, I was pumped, dude. I was like, yeah, I see nothing more than this kid getting a whole crowd just laughing about some like touchy subjects. Like you approach those like, yeah, you got the balance of finding like, where's the line with my crowd or like my audience, and then how far can I push it kind of thing.
And it's actually crazy because I mean, everyone always thinks with like everything nowadays that like if you get on stage, you can't talk about a lot of stuff. And I mean, obviously there's obvious things you can't talk about, but I mean, once you get there and you see some of the stuff that people say, like, you're like, wow, like, you know, you can actually push the line a lot farther than you even thought. So, you know, that was like one of the biggest questions people asked me. It was like, oh, like, do you feel like you can't even tell jokes nowadays? And it's like, if anything, it's the opposite, you know, like, obviously you'll say like a joke and there's always going to be that one or two people in the crowd that disagree. But like now, everybody will like aim towards the heckler, you know, and then everybody else in the room is starting to hate on them too. So it's like, you could have kept your mouth shut. Like,
well, what are some of the difficulties and challenges that getting into it? Because you mentioned, I'm fascinated with how comedy is changing. Like obviously stand up is the glory days, and then you had COVID and now it's post COVID. Yeah. What have you learned since you've kind of dipped your toe into it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of got lucky, and I didn't start right at COVID, so I didn't have that huge gap that a lot of comedians did, where they started and then they just kind of had to stop. But I mean, honestly, dude, the hardest part is just getting over the fear on getting on stage. And like the way that I looked at it is, I was like, you know, I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life, and there's probably nothing that I've already done that can make me look any worse. So you know, screw it. And then also, like, you know, in comedy, you always know that first time is going to be your absolute worst. So, sure. You know, it's only up from there, you know? and it's like anything else, even if you're funny with your friends and whatnot, still getting on stage, it's a totally different thing. And just like trying anything new, you're not going to be the best when you first get on there, but you work at it.
The places that you're going on stage, they're like south of where you're living, or have you
Well,
gone like
so I go to Miami, which is literally directly right across the state, and I do that on Tuesday nights. And then there's a few places in Cape Coral, which is about 45, 50 minutes north of me. So, I go there. There's really not too much, local comedy here. There's one big club, but they got so big during COVID because Florida was the only place that was open that now they rarely have open mics. So, it's really one of the things that if you want to make it work, you got to go out there and grind. So.
Do you have like a story where you were like, hell yeah, this is awesome that you'll always remember? And then also after that, do you have kind of a nightmare story that you're like, shit, I'm trying to forget?
I mean, I wouldn't say nightmare yet. And if anything, the nightmare story would definitely be my first time getting on stage. Like all my friends told me like, oh, you're going to do great. So dude, I was so cocky. I didn't even write jokes. I had like 2 or 3 things that I wanted to talk about. I thought it was going to destroy. And like, I get up there, the nerves hit me. I was not expecting that at all, dude. I totally froze. I could barely even speak. And yeah, I mean, I even looked for some help in the crowd, and like this one lady, she was like, "You're the one that decided to get up there." So that would be my nightmare story. And the best one would be, that first time you get like the whole room to laugh. Like there is not a better feeling than like saying something and just like I said, getting that response. And I've been in a room where there was like 160 people. So when they do that, dude, it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome.
That's what you said when we last were shredding the gnar in Colorado. You were just like, once you get a crowd laughing, then it's just like, okay. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So talk a little bit about, obviously we go back to our St. Louis days. You're living in Florida now. What has that been like, and what are some of the differences there? Do you try and get back? I see you're obviously still a Rams fan, even though they left us, but yeah.
I left first. Maybe they were trying to follow me, but they couldn't. Florida, there was too many football teams down here already. But honestly, I mean, obviously, anywhere you go, people are going to be different. But like the thing, honestly, that I noticed that it's kind of weird to say, but it's not like there's not really a culture, In St. Louis, we're a baseball town. Everybody, we bleed the Cardinals, the Blues. It doesn't matter where your background is from. You go to a Cardinals game, you basically are a family. Here. Yep. It's everybody from every part of the, the world. Honestly, that's how south I am, at least, that it's so international. So, if anything, there's not like that core, that core at home. And that's definitely like the biggest thing that I miss. And that's half the reason why, I come back so much. I stay so, such in touch with everyone back home because, you never want to forget where you came from. And, I'm proud to be from St. Louis. So.
Yeah. So you were talking about possibly moving out to California. Is that still in the books, or are you gonna?
That kind of fell through. I mean, just the timing and everything, and the way that the market was. I mean, it really didn't make sense. And like, some of the comedians that I've worked with, they came over from LA, and they were saying like, you're struggling to find stage time here, where it's going to be just as bad, if not worse, there because there's more comedy places, but everyone and their mother is trying to get in. And like another thing that I used to think is like Naples isn't really a comedy city, so I was like, you can't really get big in a city that doesn't really have comedy. So that's why I was thinking LA. But, then I kind of switched my perspective and I was like, if you can bring comedy to a city that doesn't have it and shake the room, so to speak, you are going to get so much more notice than if I do this in LA because everybody is doing it. Nobody's doing this. So
that's super smart because we've talked to Andrew Klinkhammer too, who like went through living in LA, and it's like you get to deal with no state income tax in Florida versus paying out your ass, fucking across the way.
And that was another thing is I was like, I'm happy with where I'm at and how long I've been in comedy, but at the same time, I'm nowhere near ready to move out to LA. I would end up going broke before anything happened. And, I would just be right back to square one, but with no money. So, it was definitely, I was looking really forward to it living with Germ, but it was definitely a mature choice to stay.
Yeah. So then are you looking at buying houses, bro? Florida man?
That's the move, right?
I mean, definitely buy something within the next couple of months, the way the market is. But right now, I got a pretty sweet deal at where I'm at, so I'm just renting, keeping my options open.
Yeah, I had to, like, the market was so insane up here in the Twin Cities, and then we just like lucked out by stumbling into a house and catching a bargain. My last thing there kind of is, what was your goal? I mean, I love kind of your vision, what you're doing. You've obviously got the smart ambition to kind of make your own self. You mentioned the internet as a useful tool so you can do comedy wherever. What are some of your goals?
I mean, so the end goal, honestly, is, I definitely like want to make it in stand-up comedy. I definitely have some mile markers in there that I want to get to, but within like the next year, I definitely want to be headlining. Right now I'm just kind of landing guest spots. So, headlining is definitely something that's big on the list. I mean, it's kind of corny, but everyone's going to say as a comedian, they want to perform at Madison Square Garden. So that, that's the grand slam right there. You got to take baby steps. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then, TikToks, I have some up my sleeve that I definitely want to get out there. But, one of the hardest things too is like, finding people that are like willing to put in the work with you, and then also finding times that match with everybody. So, that's definitely been a little hard lately, but we got some stuff up their sleeves that we want to get out there.
I've noticed a lot of people saying that actually, like, the content that I follow online, they'll say the same thing, that like, please hit like the subscribe button or whatever, because like I guess it's really boosting differently now and stuff that.
It's so weird how the algorithms work, dude. Like with that football video. I mean, me and one of my buddies, we posted the same video, but like, I used the right hashtags and then boom. It's like weird stuff like that. And another thing too, when it comes to making content, is I like to be original and stuff like that. I don't like to do everything that is trending, and sometimes I do it just to stay, in the game. But once I feel like I'm just following what everyone's doing, that's typically when I'll take a little step back and be like, let me put my focus on something else.
Check out his great stuff, Andrew McBride, McBride16 on TikTok and Instagram. And we love talking to people like comedians and content creators like yourself. It's all part of the game, and this is the golden age of content creation. So again, I just want to wrap up with kind of, you're a super interesting guy doing all these interesting things. You've been sober for a number of years now. Is there anything you want to share that you think the audience would find interesting, difficulties, maybe inspirations you found along the way? Especially
comedy clubs, like where most people go and want to drink.
You're surrounded by, in your profession.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sober for a little over a year and a half, and I mean, like at the end of the day, when it comes to getting sober, I mean, you have to definitely want to do it for yourself. There's people out there that they might have a bad weekend or something, and that's why they're thinking about quitting, and that's why that never works. You kind of have to say enough is enough. It's fun until it's not fun. When you start waking up in a jail cell next to some smelly homeless dude, definitely loses its touch. So, sure. I mean, that's the main thing, is I was starting to look at the consequences. I started seeing, the pattern with all my relapses. And the main thing is like, I didn't want to be one of those people that, they waste their whole life, just because of one stupid night out with their friends,
Yeah.
That was the main thing, is, after waking up after a blackout, if I was in a jail cell, you could tell me that I hit someone and I would have no idea. And there's people that they throw their entire life away. You saw what happened with Ruggs, or with the Raiders player. Perfect example, dude. So
yeah, that's tough.
Worth it.
I love when you joke about it though. Like your TikToks are.
That was the other one that went viral too, right?
Yeah. Like the way I look at it is, I spent all this money, for a lawyer and stuff. I might as well try to get some of it back.
That's a heady play. Yeah. Well, you're killing it. We appreciate you stopping by. Glad to see you're doing so well. Here it is for the visual audience. McBride16 there on Instagram. It's the same on TikTok as well. Andrew, thanks for stopping by. We look forward to kind of keeping up with what you're doing.
Good seeing you boys.
Yeah, you too, man. I'll visit soon, right?
Oh yeah, please do.